charge half the mileage if you're bringing my wife. I'm not kidding. That's right.
Good afternoon and welcome to our regular council meeting for November 6th, 2023. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional territories and the oral practices of the Blackfoot Nation, which include the Siksika, the Kainai, and the Piikani. We also acknowledge the Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nakoda First Nations, the Métis Region, Nation, Region 3, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. We're making this acknowledgement to demonstrate our continuing efforts to work together as we strive for reconciliation through increased and collective learning. Okay, we'll start off the afternoon with an introduction. Amanda.
Sure. Through the chair to Mayor and Council, we are very excited to have Kyle Ivey, who is the city's newest recreation programmer. Kyle is a local who was recently graduated, or who has recently graduated from St. Joe's Collegiate. He has been attending the rec center since he was a teen and has participated in multiple sports teams. He has customer service and leadership experience through his part-time jobs and volunteering, and comes to us with athletic awards, hands-on skills in creating programs and drills, as well as coaching and refereeing. Therefore, we are thrilled to welcome this dedicated community member to our City of Brooks Recreation Programs team, Kyle Ivey.
Welcome to the City of Brooks. That's quite a resume there. So, yeah. Good. Well, thanks for joining our team here. So, okay. I move by Councillor Jessica that the agenda be adopted. All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Nesbitt that the minutes from the council organizational meeting and the regular council meeting held October 16th, 2023 be approved. All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Prentice that the following items of correspondence be received as information, updates on council conferences and or workshops, the accounts payable listing, and the notes from Council Committee October 24th, 2023. Councillor Nesbitt.
Thank you, Mayor Petrie. Along with the mayor and his wife and my wife, we attended the AARP convention and energizing workshop in Lake Louise a couple weeks ago. And yes, we did pay for our wives for meals and for everything they went to. We paid for them. Otherwise, we just made them stay in the room and wait for us to come back from our meetings. Of the 4 seminars I attended, the one that stood out for me the most was information I received on leisure spiritual processes, where one can link leisure and spiritual well-being to one format. For example, what's leisure? Well, it's relaxation, a time for oneself, a favorite activity, making space for self-improvement, interacting with family and friends, or holistic leisure. Spirituality is the way of being and experience that comes through awareness, meaning with a purpose and in life. Idealism and altruism are in abundance when we consider what is going on in the world today. How we come to spiritual outcomes in today's world, even a walk in a park or going through your thoughts can drive you towards a balanced life. I think I'm going to try that someday, that little bit of walk. We also talked about a fella, his name was Desmond. He used to be an RCMP officer. He related his life story to the audience when he was abandoned along with his 2 siblings as a young child after his mother died. He never knew his father and lost track of his brother and sister after they were adopted separately. Thankfully, he was adopted by a village elder and his wife, who raised him up to be a great man that he is today. The dance he performed was almost a lost art by the Blackfoot Nation, but because of his determination to keep their traditions alive, he mastered it greatly. And just a few more notes I picked up at various discussions are, did you know that 25,000 people in Canada are homeless? 526 camps were dismantled in Calgary, Red Deer, and Edmonton last year, where people just set up a tent, grab something like a barbecue to cook their food, and stay there. They come and dismantle them, and the next day, they're set up just down the road a little bit further. They had 121,000 pounds of garbage that they have taken out of these camps. And we're very lucky in this community that it doesn't happen here. And also, a little off topic, the Alberta Recreational Survey says that pickleball is the leading activity in sports, and walking is down, but hiking has increased drastically in Alberta. And that is my report.
Yeah, and just to add to that, because that was one of the sessions I attended to, was the trends in recreation. More people are into hiking, pickleball, of course, at topping the list. And interesting about pickleball, it used to be, I guess, a more when you're smarter and you get older, a sport for older people. But now younger people are getting into pickleball too. I was trying to say that politically correct here. Outdoor water sports are on the increase, which includes fishing, rivers, and canoeing. Indoor activities, including swimming and aquafit, were down. Walking is still popular but declining, but hiking is going up. Let's see here. Some of the favorite activities include walking, hiking, camping, reading, golf. Barrier to a lot of activities is the cost. New Canadians are less likely to participate in recreational activities. However, 52% of new Canadians will visit a library. New Canadians are at 70% are more likely to go to parks, probably again because of the cost and maybe because of their family unit too. They also like to spend time together. 19% of people are involved with hockey, but soccer is probably higher than that there too, and it costs about $1,500 a year to keep a child in recreation. So, yeah, so there's some of the trends there too. So, okay, any questions on anything? Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Wardrop that November 6th to the 12th, 2023 be hereby proclaimed as Living Wage Week in the City of Brooks. Lisa.
Almost missed the chair. Thank you. Through the chair to Mayor and Council. Each year, the Alberta Living Wage Network celebrates Living Wage Week by announcing the new living wage rates for participating communities across our province. A living wage is the hourly wage a worker needs to earn to cover their basic expenses and participate in the community. The concept of a living wage is rooted in the belief that individuals and families should not just survive, but be able to thrive and participate in their community. So for the first time, the City of Brooks has a living wage calculated for our community. The local statistics and rates were gathered regarding the cost of shelter, food, transportation, childcare, clothing, healthcare, tuition, and these costs form part of the calculation for a locally relevant living wage. There are in total 16 communities that participated in the living wage calculations this year, and on November 8th, they will be announced as part of Living Wage Week. So included in this announcement will be a social media and educational campaign which discusses the importance of determining a living wage as a method of poverty reduction. Once we know what the living wage is in our community, we can understand that as a benchmark for people and low wage earners so that we understand who may or may not be living in poverty in our community. Following the release of Brooks's living wage, local employers will be encouraged to join the movement as a living wage employer. To receive this certification, an employer needs to pay their staff and contractors at least the minimum wage rate in our community. And paying a living wage not only helps reduce poverty, obviously, but it helps build a strong local community or economy, leading to employee retention and reducing recruitment costs. Currently, there's over 100 living wage employees across Alberta, and we actually already have some that are located in the City of Brooks. So our recommendation is that Council proclaim November 6th through 12th, 2023 as Living Wage Week in the City of Brooks.
Okay, any questions? Okay, and then we'll find out on Wednesday then what the living wage is.
That's correct. There will be a news release that's released in conjunction with the other 15 municipalities across the community or across the province that will announce the living wages.
And this will be updated every year then, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, to the motion, Councillor Idris.
This is actually something new for me. So you said there is over 100 employer in Alberta that is giving the living. That seems very small.
Low.
Through the chair to Councillor Idris, there's likely many, many more that are paying the living wage.
Okay, this is, okay.
These are the ones that are certified, have gone through the certification process. They pay $100, I think, registration fee, and they make that commitment as a corporation. So, for example, Lafarge across all of Alberta has made the commitment that they will pay a living wage in any community that has that living wage determined, that they will pay at least that. So we do have Lafarge in our community, so hopefully they would follow suit.
Okay, and then the other question is, the living wage is calculated based on full-time employment, right? So what do they say about that in the sense of poverty and the relationship with that?
Through the chair to Councillor Dress, it's calculated based on full-time employment of 1,800 hours a year, which I believe is 35 hours a week. And in some circumstances, if an employer also pays certain health benefits and pension, that can go towards the hourly wage as well. So in the City of Brooks's case, since we do offer that comprehensive benefit plan, that can go towards that living wage as well. So many people think that minimum wage earners are working part-time, and that's not always the case. So in this case, for living wage, it's based on full-time employment of 1,800 hours a year.
Thank you.
Okay. To the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Goodenough that November 5th to the 11th, 2023 be hereby proclaimed as Accessible Driver Appreciation Week in the City of Brooks. Amanda.
Through the chair to Mayor Petrie and council, the Voice of Albertans with Disabilities have invited the City of Brooks to join them in celebrating Accessible Driver Appreciation Week from November 5th to the 11th, 2023. This week will show appreciation to those that make accessibility a priority in everyday life. It is through the daily work of accessible drivers and dispatchers that many people are able to live, work, and play in our community on a daily basis. During this week, individuals can thank both drivers and dispatchers for their welcoming manner, professional driving skills, and their organization of complicated scheduling demands, while also letting them know that they are very appreciated by the many Albertans that they assist. Therefore, the Voice of Albertans with Disabilities respectfully request that November 5th through November 11th, 2023 be hereby proclaimed as Accessible Driver Appreciation Week in the City of Brooks.
Okay, any questions? Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Idris that November 19th to the 26th, 2023 be hereby proclaimed as Rotary Week in the City of Brooks. Amanda.
Through the chair to Mayor and Council, on October 31st, 2023, Mayor Petrie and Council received a letter from the Rotary Club of Brooks regarding Rotary Week, November 19th through November 26th, 2023 for the City of Brooks. The Rotary Club of Brooks is a local organization celebrating over 40 years of service in Brooks. Throughout those years, the club has supported countless initiatives and organizations to make our community more vibrant, sustainable, and prosperous. Rotary Radio Day is one of the major annual fundraising events the Rotary holds, and this year, Rotary Radio Day will be held on November 25th. Funds raised during the event will help the Rotary in continuing to support worthy causes within our community. Therefore, to celebrate the Rotary being in the community for over 40 years, and to promote Radio Day, the Rotary Club of Brooks kindly requests that the week of November 19th to the 26th, 2023 be proclaimed as Rotary Week in the City of Brooks.
And we're fortunate we have three councillors that are on Rotary there. Councillor Goodenough, Councillor Idris, and myself there too. Okay, any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Okay, moved by Councillor Wardrope that council approve the donation of 420 youth drop-in passes to the JBS Canada Centre for Brooks Minor Hockey Association tournaments for the 2023-24 season. Amanda.
Through the chair to Mayor Petrie and Council, Brooks Minor Hockey Association is once again hosting 6 tournaments for the 2023-24 season, and this will be throughout the upcoming months of December and January. Unfortunately, the association continues to experience those challenges that they have when having out-of-town teams register for tournaments due to the limited space in local hotels, specifically those that possess those pool anemones. In order to entice those out-of-town teams to participate in local tournaments, Brooks Minor Hockey Association would like to continue to provide incentives to encourage registrations. A representative from the association presented to the Brooks and District Recreation and Parks Board at their meeting that was held on October the 18th, and during that meeting, they requested a donation of 420 youth drop-in passes to the JBS Canada Center valued at $2,625. Therefore, the following motion was made by the board. Dwayne Perkins made a motion to recommend that Brooks Minor Hockey Association's request to provide 420 youth passes for the use of their U5, U7, which is combined, U9, U11, U13, and U15 tournaments to council for consideration, and T. Hanran seconded that motion, and the motion was carried. Therefore, administration recommends that council approve the donation of 420 youth drop-in passes to the JBS Canada Center for Brooks Minor Hockey Association's tournaments for the 2023-2024 season.
Okay, any questions? Councillor Jessica.
So this is, I think we did this last year, was the first
Yeah,
time.
we did, yeah.
Do we have any numbers or any idea of how many of those passes were actually used?
Through the chair to Councillor Jessica, of the 294 passes that were distributed, 54 of them were redeemed. One of the explanations from Brooks Minor Hockey Association organizers was that they had actually had a communication error with the teams that played in December, and that's why December had low utilization. But again, they did have 54 that were redeemed during that season.
Okay, any other questions? Councillor Goodenough.
So this is the second year we're doing this now. I'm just curious, why hasn't the rec board now been looking at, because they're coming to you guys asking for a donation. How come this isn't put in your budget line now? Or should it be?
Councillor, okay, I'll
Go ahead, John.
Councillor Nesbitt and then,
Joel, I can answer that by, we can, beg your pardon? Councillor Joel, we can only go so far. Everything else has to go to council for this amount. We can go up to $400. And the fact that we give these out doesn't mean that they're all going to be utilized, but it is a good way to keep people in town. Some people, believe it or not, for these tournaments, go to Medicine Hat and utilize their pools and their hotels. So this is something that we're trying to keep them here and keep them in the hotels that are in Brooks so that, well, maybe they can spend some money here too.
okay, Councillor Wardrop, do you, okay,
Nothing to add. I believe though, Councillor Nesbitt, it's $500, correct? $500, yeah. That's what we're allowed to approve up to.
okay, no, I agree with Councillor Nesbitt. It's a good way to keep them in town here, and especially if you're playing one of the sports there and you got a sibling there, it gives them something to do there too. So, yeah. So, okay, to the motion. All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Prentice that Kelly Doobie be appointed to the Airport Commission for a third four-year term commencing November 4th, 2023 and ending November 3rd, 2027. Don?
Thank you. Through the chair to mayor and council. The Brooks Regional Airport Commission currently consists of 6 members, 2 citizens at large members, 1 councillor from the county, and 2 councillors and 1 citizen at large from the city. Kelly Doobie is currently the city's citizen at large member, and he has expressed interest in serving another 4-year term. Therefore, staff is recommending that Kelly Doobie be appointed to the Airport Commission for a third 4-year term commencing November 4th, 2023 and ending November 3rd, 2027.
Okay, any questions? Okay, to the motion. All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Idris that with respect to the cafe with drive-through located at 907 2nd Street West, Section 303 of the Sanitary Sewer Bylaw 2125 be waived in accordance with Section 308 of said bylaw, and further that Section 303 of the Portable Water Bylaw 1504 be waived in accordance with Section 310 of the said bylaw for 1 year, and further that any subsequent consideration for extension must be made to council. Gavin speaking to this one? Or Natasha will speak to this one. Natasha.
Thank you. Through the chair to mayor and council. The City of Brooks received an application for a new temporary use cafe with drive-through located at 907 2nd Street West, which was approved by the development officer on December 9th of 2022. The reasons behind the use being approved as temporary were based on the definition of temporary and temporary use in the land use bylaw, and as stated in the sanitary sewer, excuse me, and portable water bylaw. The land use bylaw, as amended, definition for temporary states, meaning a restricted period of time, and in some cases defined by this bylaw, such a period of time determined by the development authority. Schedule 6, definition for temporary use, means a use intended for a limited duration in a land use zone. As per the sanitary sewer bylaw, 303 states that the owner of every house, building, or property used for human occupancy, employment, recreation, or other purpose situated within the city and abutting highway where sanitary sewer is present shall connect directly to the sanitary sewer. However, Section 308 states that no statement contained in the bylaw shall be construed as preventing any special agreement or arrangement between the city and the individual. The potable water bylaw states for the purpose of this bylaw that no person shall, unless authorized by the city, allow water to be supplied to a property from another water supply that is not connected to or provided from the city's water distribution system. This matter was presented by Gavin Scott of Orsk at the Council Committee meeting held on October 24th of 2023, and Council Committee's recommendation is now being brought forward to Council. That with respect to the cafe with the drive-through located at 907 2nd Street West, that Section 303 of the sanitary sewer bylaw be waived in accordance with Section 308, and further that Section 303 of the potable water bylaw be waived in accordance with Section 310 of the bylaw for 1 year, and further that any subsequent consideration for extension must be made to Council.
Okay, any questions? Okay, I'll go to the motion then. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, got a long one here. Okay, moved by Councilor Jessica that Council will approve development permit application 2023 D77 with the following conditions. Development to conform to application, including any plans and drawings deemed complete by the development officer on October 26, 2023, and to land use bylaw 1412, unless otherwise approved by the development authority. Development must be completed in its entirety in accordance with approved plans and conditions. Any revisions to the approved plans must be submitted for approval to the development authority. All relevant safety code permits, building, electrical, gas, plumbing must be obtained from an accredited agency pursuant to the Safety Codes Act. A copy of all final inspections indicating compliance must be filed with the city immediately following the receipt of the same. All surface water must drain from the property site to the street and or lane and shall not adversely affect neighboring properties. The site must meet the minimum drainage grade of 2% away from the buildings located on the lot. Should retaining walls be required, they are to be constructed at the expense of the property owner or developer. Any off-site construction will be restored as per the City of Brooks construction specifications, must be inspected by the City of Brooks, and must maintain the existing City of Brooks storm water management. Suitable measures to ensure the above is adhered to must be employed from the onset of development and shall remain in place throughout all stages of the evacuation and construction landscaping. The property owner developer is to repair or reinstate or pay for the repair or reinstatement to original condition of any city-owned infrastructure, including but not limited to street furniture, curbing, sidewalk, boulevard, landscaping, and tree planting that may be damaged or destroyed or otherwise harmed by the development and or building operations on the site. All repair and reinstatement work must be completed by the city-approved contractor. The property owner developer must notify the city if they are going to have to destroy or replace any city-owned infrastructure. And as-built grading plan must be submitted by the Alberta Land Surveyor once construction is complete. The applicant shall meet the requirements of the Alberta Fire Code. The new Home Energy Code is requirement details must be submitted to the City of Brooks prior to issuance of the building permit, and the new home warranty approved new home registration must be submitted to the City of Brooks prior to issuance of the building permit. Natasha.
Thank you. Through the chair to mayor and council. The city of Brooks received 2 applications, one to demolish an existing single-family dwelling and the other to construct a new dwelling, a manufactured home with an attached garage. The property is located at 1006 12th Street West and is zoned direct control. Any development proposed on a direct control lot shall be considered discretionary. Minimum requirements including, but not limited to, lot size, setbacks, site coverage, building height, and floor area are all to the discretion of council, unless such authority has been delegated as per the land use bylaw. Besides the new proposed development, there are currently 14 accessory buildings located on the 8.09 hectare, 20 acres more or less. There is a attached site plan for your reference. The Public Works Department has reviewed the proposed development and has no comments or concerns. Staff also circulated the proposed development plan to the IDP committee to inquire if an IDP meeting was required, and no comments or concerns were raised. Staff also circulated the proposed development plan to all adjacent landowners, and again, no comments or concerns were received. Recommendation is that council approve development permit 23D77 with all of the conditions that Mayor Petrie kindly listed.
Thank you. Okay, any questions? Okay, Councilor Goodenough?
Natasha, on, after the map that you've submitted, that one, there is just drawings. There's lots, I'm not, could you just explain that a bit? Because you've got it's submitted the proposed manufactured home with attached garage, but then there's a bunch of other additional things. I'm just curious, is that part of the plan? Like,
Through the chair to Councillor Goodenough. In the first photo, that's just showing you what's on the lot. It's more of a zoom in of the home that's going to be demolished and where the new home is going to be. The second one that you're looking at, that is an AutoCAD with all of the buildings, including the new manufactured home and all of the accessory buildings.
that answers the question. Thank you.
Perfect, thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Okay, moved by Councilor Goodenough that bylaw number 2315 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to amend bylaw number 1412 being the land use bylaw be introduced and read a first time. Gavin?
Yes. Through the chair to mayor and council, bylaw 2315 proposes to redesignate land at the intersection of 6th Street West and 9th Avenue West from commercial general to residential high density as described in the Northwest Sector Area Structure Plan. As per the requirements of the Municipal Government Act, a public hearing must be held prior to council's decision on the bylaw. Your site context, this is an undeveloped property that was subdivided in 2017, and the area structure plan for the area was adopted in 2021. The area is partially serviced with water and sewer on the north side of each of these parcels. In order to determine full infrastructure needs for the site, engineering studies will be required to move any project at this location forward. Both 6th and 9th Avenue West are undeveloped road right-of-ways. At the direction of the ASP, this current commercial zoning is at odds with council's direction in that area structure plan. The proposed zoning would bring it in line with the municipal development plan and is a good candidate because it does provide a mix of housing densities. It also provides it's a good location next to school, shopping, and future parks and green space. These amenities are good looking towards the long-term success of a multi-unit development. The subject site is within the boundaries of the Northwest Area Structure Plan and is planned for residential development in the ASP land use concept. And I've provided the excerpt from that, and those two lots are on the left hand of that drawing. There's another lot there. It is also zoned direct control and is a little further out from being potential development. Your next steps in the process, a public hearing will be advertised and held in compliance with the Municipal Government Act, the City of Brooks land use bylaw prior to consideration of second and third reading. The decision on the proposed rezoning should be evaluated based on the suitability of the land and the intended uses outlined in the area structure plan. Recommendation again that the council complete first reading this evening and set the public hearing date. Any questions?
Okay, and I don't know if we can really discuss it after the first reading there, but we can, if there's any clarifications, we can, and for clarification, this would be the land by Walmart and by Upland School, if you're just wondering where that is, okay. Okay, for the first reading on this one here, all in favor? Carried. Okay, moved by Councilor Idris that a public hearing be held on December 4th, 2023 at 5 p.m. to gather public input regarding bylaw number 2315. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, thank you, Gavin. I don't think we need you anymore here. Okay, moved by Councilor Jessica that the council close the meeting to the public for agenda item 9A, land matter as per section 16, FOIP at 5 p.m. All those in favor? Carried. I don't think Sandra was